circles, squares, triangles. Is there any way to know how different they might be? Maybe you'll find out today. And I don't know about that with Jim Jefferies. Best intro
That was
ever.
a tough one to get through.
It's very hard to explain how they're different because when you explain a circle, you go, it's like a circle.
Yeah.
It's like a round. What's a round? It's like a circle.
You do love using the word in the definition of the word all the time.
Yeah.
Square has 4 equal sides.
I don't know about that, Forrest. Are they all equal? Because there's always one side that I like more than the other.
They might not have to be equal because I think a rectangle is also a square.
No, it's not a rectangle.
No.
It's a rectangle.
A square can be a rectangle, but a rectangle isn't necessarily a square.
Fucking speaking of squares, Jack's with us.
Hey, everybody.
Jack's in a bottle.
So rude.
Did we all have a good Christmas? What did we all get up to? Christmas, New Year's? Did you trip the light fantastic? What did you do?
This is like 2 weeks after New Year's.
It's all right.
Okay,
We'll be re-recording, mate.
it was good.
This one recording the week that actually comes out. At the moment, the Capitol's being stormed by people. They're all in there taking podiums. They're in Nancy Pelosi's office, just sitting in chairs.
I got a letter off her desk.
I got a letter off her desk, and he said, "We will not back down." I had the privilege of ringing my father up that day. Oh God. I'll give you the footnotes of what my father said. Oh, Trump didn't do anything to encourage this. These people just went and did it because they tried to kick Trump out. They've tried to kick him out. They rubbished him the whole time. And now the people are upset, and the Democrats don't know why the people are upset. And I go, Dad, he lost the election. He goes, oh, there's a lot of evidence that says he didn't. And I said, what evidence? Oh, you'd have to read into it like you have, Dad. My father lives in Australia and can't turn a computer on. Let me put this. My dad's not smart enough to be a QAnon member,
Right?
Because he can't get if he could get QAnon stuff, he'd be on board
He'd
right
be
away.
fucking Q.
He'd be right on board at the moment. My dad listens to a little bit of right-wing radio in Australia, and he goes, none of them brought guns or anything like that. And I said, they found a pipe bomb, Dad. Oh, that news didn't reach Australia. Didn't reach Australia, right? He goes, a pipe bomb. He goes, that wouldn't have blown the whole building up. It would have only made a little bit of damage. So that's my father's basically a terrorist.
But he is a foreign terrorist.
Yeah. So he
The worst kind.
Yeah. No, so he thinks that Trumpy was mistreated a little bit on that one. So that's where I'm
geez.
at. That's where I'm at. Thank God I didn't have to spend Christmas hearing that one.
Why do he's always mistreated? It's like
They didn't treat him well, Forrest. They bloody rubbished him the whole time.
Well, did you see all the videos of people who were like, I was trying to get in there and then they maced me and they beat me with batons, and it's like they're telling this sob story. It's like, yes, you tried to fucking break into the Capitol, but like there are consequences for that. If you
break into any building and the police are there and you continue to break, I don't care if it's a fucking toilet that's been locked.
Yeah.
You continue to still try to break the door down. Eventually you will get restrained or maced. It's not this whole idea that, but I pay taxes. By the way, I've looked at the people who broke in and stood there. They're not paying a lot of taxes. Stop with your fucking taxes. I pay a lot more taxes than you. I should be able to break a toilet in there or something. I should be able to go into Pelosi's office and just nick a keyboard.
That is the best part too, is like they broke in, they had access to all this information that they claim that they want, this evidence of all these things, and all they did was fucking take selfies and steal a podium. Like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
We're just too stupid to do any real damage.
Yeah, so that's where we're at with that. How are you been, Jack? Jack's back. Jack's not in the room with us right now because he's in Atlanta. Why are you in Atlanta?
My mom turned 60 today that we're recording, so like last week. And I'll tell you, the airport...
So your mum had you at 45.
The flight was a bit scary because the lady directly behind me was coughing the entire time. And the flight attendant had to go, hey, ma'am, please put your mask over your nose.
She didn't have her mask on and she was coughing?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Jack was on a smoking flight.
He's on that same plane Indiana Jones flies on, sitting in some hay.
The smoking.
Yeah, the pilot's bailed out and I have to learn how to land it.
I remember the smoking flights. I traveled on some smoking flights back in the day.
Yeah.
And it used to be like rows 1 to 30, no smoking.
Yeah.
31 to 60 smoking. So if you were in row, there was no barrier.
No.
Yeah.
So if you were in row 30 pregnant, you were butt fuck out of luck. You were in that tube.
They had the ashtrays in the armrests.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I'll
So
tell you what,
gross.
I don't want to big up smoking, but never once did a plane catch on fire in the sky from someone having a cigarette. It was just like, what's that flaming thing in there? Someone's smoking.
All right, Jack, what do you got for us today?
Comment World. No song because I can't play it from over here.
I wanted
But
a life hack. Can people see you at the moment? 'Cause people can probably see you.
Yeah.
In the background, Jack's got a chair that his mother gave him for Christmas. That's a director chair that said Jack Hackett.
I also,
That's
there's
nice.
What's the pink thing underneath that?
Piece of tape.
What are you directing RuPaul's Drag Race? What are you doing?
That was from when I was working on set in Atlanta. My nickname was Salmon Pants because I had a pair of like salmon shorts. So that was the
salmon
nickname
pants.
that they slept
I
on.
also like that above it you have your hope board.
It's my
These
dream
are
board
my
from the dream
successes.
episode.
Yeah, if you can't see, it's an empty chalkboard, corkboard that's got a whole lot of tacks in it, ready to put up dreams. And they're ready to go. All the pins are down there. Something could happen.
There's nothing up there. This looks like you're being held by ISIS or something. Like, why is there nothing on there? Like,
I used to have stuff up there. I don't know where. I think my mom just cleared house.
Yeah,
Are
she's
those
like, this dream
trophies?
didn't work out. This dream
So
didn't work out.
trophies. Here's a weird 3D printed model of me as eighth grade.
Oh my God.
That's racist.
That looks
I
racist as
gotta
fuck.
say, you look more Asian in the bobblehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
That
wow.
actually, that looks like
Spitting
my
image.
neighbor's kid, to be
Spitting
honest.
image.
Wow.
Congratulations on the Oscar last year. All right. What are those trophies in the way back?
That's two bottles.
what is there?
2 bottles of Coke, a bowling pin, a little.
It's my high school film festival trophies. Oh yeah, they're over here.
Yeah.
High
Right.
school film festival trophies, a bowling pin from a party.
And a biplane.
a water bottle,
Oh boy.
and a little plane. Woo! He flies it
It's an
over.
airplane made out of Coke cans.
Oh wow! There you go.
You guys
There
really
you
have
go.
a brand over there, don't you?
Yeah. Did you make that?
No, my aunt bought it, but I'm sure I could.
Your
I'm sure I
aunt
could
bought
make
it. Your father works at Coca-Cola. I thought he'd just bring it home from work one day. Not only do you get free Coca-Cola things, but you still shop for them?
Yeah. It's basically the biggest MLM in the world. They're like, you have to buy your own products and you have to reach a quota every month.
I'll have to
Jeez,
take
Jack.
a picture of our huge Coke memorabilia thing in the basement. It's just like 15 feet of just Coke things.
Yeah, be sure to send that to us
I
immediately.
weirdly have about 15 Coca-Cola Christmas decorations.
I have
I
Coca.
don't know how. It's just
Not from him?
He gave me one.
Oh.
Yeah, I have Coca-Cola products, but Jack gave them to me. He gave
Yeah.
me the bottle with my name on it. It's like in my
Yeah.
office.
Those were cool, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have the Jim Jefferies Show Coca-Cola bottles over there.
Yeah.
Can't drink them. What if the show comes back?
They're worth too much. You get so much money for those.
Any week now, we should hear back.
Yeah, Comedy Central rings me up and goes, "All's forgiven."
You're like, I didn't know you were mad at me.
They are rebooting everything, so it could happen.
Yeah, it could
Yeah,
happen.
I don't think so.
What do you got, Jack?
Well, we got some compliments to start us off.
All right, like
Yeah,
them.
that's good.
People love the Richard Dawkins episode, and people really enjoyed seeing him having a good time and laughing, because I guess he's fairly serious in his lectures.
No, he laughed so much. He called me up the next day and just said, "Hey, between me and you, I believe in God." He said, "But I've gone too far now. I can't take it back."
Oh, now you said it.
Yeah, he
That's
said,
a
off
private
the, he said off
conversation.
the record first.
Jeez.
People love the Dream episode so much that in the comments, people are like, "I just bought the book." So
Yeah, a
we're
lot of
selling
people
books
bought the
over here.
book.
There is no book.
It's
We all
all a
imagined
dream.
Yeah, there wasn't even an episode. So it's funny how collectively we all did that.
It's, one of those Mandela effects.
Mm.
Someone said, "I always feel more dumb after listening to these podcasts." So It's working.
The idea of the podcast is to feel more smarter.
Yeah.
How would you feel dumber?
Well, because
Maybe they're realizing-
maybe there's an episode where I knew more than them, and they're like, "Oh God, I got to check myself."
Someone sent in an email that said, "Thank you for a funny show every week. You guys are great. Every time I hear Forrest's voice, I think of Ned from South Park, which is the guy with the smoking guy."
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Forrest got
And
kicked in the throat when he was a teenager. That's why he sounds like that. It's really offensive.
Yeah, it is. And I had throat polyps.
And the thing was, he wasn't kicked in the throat by someone else. He just used to be a girl on. Fuck that joke. I was about to say Forrest used to be a rockette.
I kicked myself in the throat. I thought it was going to be some sort of sexual.
I thought it was too. I thought you were going to nickname him Deep Throat or something.
I just think it's funny to see you as a rockette. Like all the girls are jumping and kicking their legs up, and who's that bloke in the middle?
He's like,
It's so flexible. Stubby legs.
Someone says Forrest's arm tan continues to be consistently impressive. Keep killing outdoors, you bearded champion, and then the rock on symbol.
Yeah, do you have trucker's arm? Do you?
No, I do
does
yard
a lot
work.
of
I do
hikes.
yard work and some hikes. Yeah, I get outside. You get the vitamin D.
Yard work. The court said it was community service.
Gotta wear a red or orange.
I pick up trash beside the side of the highway. No court needs to tell me to keep my town clean, you know.
Look, a lot of people appreciate. They honk.
Yeah.
So, they like what I'm doing. They like the work.
We got a lot of listeners from Hartlepool. Got a lot of monkey hanger listeners.
We got some monkey hangers. If you haven't listened to the other episode, shame on you. We're going to refer to them as monkey hangers, and you think what you will.
yeah.
And someone told us that Hartlepool's United, their soccer team, their mascot is a monkey named Hangus, H''Angus.
Wow.
And it's of like a big monkey in a soccer jersey. So they're really living up to.
Yeah, they're really leaning into it.
Seriously.
What else I got there? Not you. Yeah, you too. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I believe it was the Dreams episode where Jim credited the polio vaccine to Veruca Salt.
I did. It was a joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that's the
didn't catch
character
it at
from
the
Charlie
time.
and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. A lot of
And
people are
the
like,
bird.
I wasn't
actually,
sure when it
Veruca
happened.
Salt was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's like,
I
yes.
had some personal messages sent to me. It wasn't Darwin on the boat. It was fucking Banks was the botanist who. That's why we had the Banks here and all that type of stuff. And I got that mixed up. Sorry, I don't know my Australian history perfect on the spot. Sorry.
Also, why are people like, okay, this is, if people want to call in, write in with a correction or something, don't say it like talk down to us. The whole point of the podcast is to learn shit. Actually, we don't say we know anything.
Yeah.
We have the experts on.
I really don't know a thing about the expert or know who the expert is before I come in, so I will get things wrong.
Yeah.
That's why the podcast is called I Don't Know About That.
You suck, Jim.
Yeah, you know that thing that you said you don't know about it? You don't know about it.
Yeah, fucking shit, bro.
So we premiered that new segment, Life Hackets, and the reviews are in.
The reviews are in.
The reviews are in. I don't see a new trophy. They mustn't be good.
Now, some people said, "Hey, I'm glad Jack's on camera. He makes a good punching bag for the rest, so that's good."
Yeah.
Other people, one person says, I've stayed silent on this topic long enough. Why is Jack there? He sucks.
Fuck that guy.
Oh, fuck that guy. You're there because
We're the only one that is allowed to say that you suck.
Yeah.
But I just like it's been eating him up inside for so long. It's just, I can't stand it any
I
longer.
stick up for you when people say mean things.
Yeah.
Takes up me whole day.
Yeah. The answer is none of us know why he's here, but that doesn't mean he's going anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
He is here.
yeah. Why are any of us here?
It's because one day I want to be in a movie and someone might be a director.
Yeah.
He's got the chair already.
He's got the
salmon
chair.
pants over there.
Yeah.
Come on, salmon pants. Get going.
They're originally white pants. Don't ask. It's infected cum.
Someone says I look like a straight Mayor Pete.
Yeah,
I don't know
Straight
about
man.
that.
We don't get political on this show.
I tell you what, Kate, who's my son's mother, who I hang out with on the regular. We all know Kate. Kate saw Jack over Christmas and said, "What, Jack?
I'm a good singer?
No. That doesn't Jack look like a rock star?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Kate?" Because he looks like a rock star. Like he should be in a band. He looks like a rock star.
You could give Hank a half brother.
Yeah.
I think Hank bullies me too much for that to be
that's
fun.
true.
Yeah, you can't knock off with Kate. Oh God. If I had to just like hang out with you as an equal.
Mr. Jefferies, is the floor clean enough for you?
All right. So is that all our comments?
A few specific things on Life Hackett itself. The version of the way I take off my t-shirt, someone says that's how John Cena's been taking off his shirt for years. So
Yeah. So
He does it better,
right?
Jack.
you're in good company.
yeah, but he's not wearing a watch. So they
Oh,
can
right.
spot on.
Yeah. There's going to be an article. Who did it best?
Yeah, he's also famous.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
And buff. Kelly, a whitewater raft guide confirmed the tampon theory of keeping tampons in a medical kit, the stuff up there.
Oh.
Yeah. It wasn't a nurse or a doctor. It was a guy who runs a whitewater rafting. I once went on a whitewater rafting trip in Cairns, Australia, many years ago. So it was several girlfriends ago, because I was with a girlfriend. I'm going to say 20 years ago. And so it was like proper rapids. I fell out of the boat, thought I was going to bloody die. You know what I mean? I was falling. Anyway, so the guy was proper Australian like that, and it started off with like, "We're all going to have fun. We're all going to go down here. Come on, paddle faster. What are you doing?" All this type of stuff. And it was a 3-hour whitewater rafting trip. And as the day went on, it started going, "Yeah, she left me for another fella. Yeah, who knows about that?" And then at the end of it was like this. "So what are you all doing now that we're done? We should go out for beers. All I've got to go home to is an empty house. No one's there." God, he got sadder and sadder.
Oh.
And you couldn't get off the boat. He had a captive audience.
I did one where the guy, he was giving.
Worst sunburn I ever had that.
I did a whitewater rafting trip on the, what was it? Is the river that between Georgia and South Carolina where they filmed Deliverance. And I
The
remember-
Ganges.
Yeah. And the guy was giving us the speech before you get on the raft, like this is how you paddle, this is what you do. But he had a very bad stutter. So me and my friends were all looking at each other like, and this, I'm not making fun of people stuttering. It's just that when you're on a raft, there's split-second things that you have to do. We were all like, I don't know if this is gonna be if he just starts stuttering when he tells you to paddle or whatever. We got in the river, he was fine. So it turns out that's what cures stuttering.
I once had a bloke with a stutter who I had a business problem with, where I needed to be pay out for something, and he was holding back a bit of my money, right? And it's like, give me my fucking money, man. Give me my fucking money. And he, like that, it's like, oh man, you can't yell at him. Like he was in the wrong. You can't yell at him.
You stress him out. He can't talk.
Yeah. It's like fucking hell.
That's Joe Biden.
The last bit of comments. People miss you saying goodnight Australia at the end of the podcast.
All right, I'll do it this episode.
That's it for
There you
comment.
go.
Will.
It's back.
All right.
Okay.
Good morning, Australia.
All right, we're gonna. We taking a break for
Take
ads?
a break, read an ad, and we'll be back with a guest. When you use the bathroom, right? You're in the bathroom, you're having a poo, sit down wee, right? You always close the door behind you. Stand up wees, you don't always. But the poos and the sit down wees, anytime you're sitting down, you close the door
You
behind
should
you.
close the door.
Right? Because you don't want some random passerby looking in on you. So why would you let people look in on you when you're online? You know, when you're online, doing your most private activities, right? Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like going to the bathroom without closing the door.
Disgusting.
Did you know that your internet service provider, like Comcast or Verizon, knows every single website you visit? And what's worse is they can sell your information to ad companies and tech giants who will use that data to target you. Yeah, they do. You type in, green hats. What are they like? And then green hats. You keep on getting asked, buy a green hat, buy a green hat. I've got too many of them now. ExpressVPN
What are green hats like, by the way? I can tell you. Green.
I just do they show salt marks from the sweat?
Oh, yeah,
it turns out they do.
Yeah.
ExpressVPN puts a stop to this. It creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so that your online activity can't be seen by anyone. How's your friend Sarah?
She's great.
She can't see it.
Oh.
She can't see it. What about your cousin Dave?
Yeah.
He can't see it.
Yeah.
Can't be seen by
Well,
anyone.
he's blind.
Can't
so.
be seen by anyone.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking send Dave my best. I know he's been through a hard time. Shouldn't have gotten him sunglasses for Christmas. Actually, he did use them to cover those dead eyes of his. I use ExpressVPN on all my devices. It works on everything. Phones, laptops, even routers.
Routers?
Whatever they are.
It's a router. It's a router.
No, I say router.
Router.
Yeah, but with my accent, I say router. I go, this is the route we're going on. You say this is the route we're going on.
Yeah, but we're in America, and people want to hear routers, so they know what the ad means. Yeah.
It's a router.
Router. It's a router.
So everyone who shares your Wi-Fi can still be protected, even if they don't have ExpressVPN. And the best part is, using ExpressVPN is as easy as closing the bathroom door. You just fire up the app, click one button, and you're protected. ExpressVPN is the world's #1 rated VPN by CNET. Sorry about your broken speakers in your car. Wired, The Verge, and countless others.
By the way, I have it. I can tell you it's very easy.
Forrest does use it.
Yeah,
Yep.
once you install it, you don't have to do it. It just does it automatically. It's great.
So if you're like me and believe your online activity is your business, secure yourself by visiting expressvpn.com/ now this isn't up in the corner, you put / I don't know. And then you do that today, but that's not in the thing. So it's expressvpn.com / I don't know. Today, use my exclusive link, expressvpn.com / IDONTNKKKNOOOW.
Oh, boy.
It's I don't know. You know how to spell it. And you can get an extra 3 months. Wait a minute. Fucking typo here. Free!
That one hurts.
Fucking free? Who says you can't get anything for free these days? Liars. That's who. That's expressvpn.com / I don't know. Shut your bathroom door, people.
And remember,
We
it's a
don't wanna see it.
URL, not a promo code.
It's a URL. Thank you, America.
Before we get to the guest, I just wanted to promote a couple things. Make sure you go to our Instagram, IDCAT Podcast, IDKAT Podcast. Check out there. And there are, I think, is our links on there? Where are the links to all of our, if you want to buy something from the show, because people have asked us, like, links and stuff. Did we put that out?
Oh, I put our promo codes in our story highlights.
Okay. So we'll come up with like another place to put that because people have asked. And then also...
our Patreon is patreon.com / IDCAT. We've got a few episodes up there already. One with Sam Morrell, which was super funny. And we'll have more later.
All right, great.
All right, now it's time to introduce our guest. Please welcome to the show, Tim Spector.
Oh, Tim Spector. I love the work you did on the Let It Be album. And yeah, the wigs.
Was that Tim Spector?
It's Phil. You screwed me again. All right, so he knows everything about Phil Spector because he's his cousin, Tim.
Well, hold on. Yeah, this is...
he's on the Spector.
Yeah, we're putting this in post, so we need to have a little moment here where he's... Okay.
Yes, though. Yes, though. Yes, though. Judging a book by its cover.
All right, Jim is going to try and guess what you're here to talk about, Tim, just by looking around there. He's not going to be able to help. That's not going to help him. He's going to ask some yes or no questions. I'll give him some clues, and then we'll reveal.
Well, you're very clearly.
And just to be clear, Tim, I'll give you this hint. Tim Spector is a doctor of a sort, and he has a lot of he has expertise in many fields, but he's here to talk about something specifically.
Okay.
So, okay.
I never get specifically or specifically.
I said it wrong. I just said specifically.
I still don't know which one's right. Once
which one? What word?
Once I was on at midnight and I had to say it, and they had to edit it out because I couldn't
Specifically?
Specifically.
No, it's not Pacifically.
I know, I can't say it.
Starts with an S.
Specifically.
That's an
Hey,
ocean.
Perfect.
Specifically.
Great job.
Pacifically is to the west here in the ocean.
All right, let's ask him some questions.
So Tim's obviously in a hotel. I can tell by the decor and all that type of stuff. So
You also asked him before we recorded.
And so he yeah, but I could tell then.
Okay.
So he is a doctor expert in quarantining.
Jim usually makes a guess that's wrong, and then he starts asking questions.
Okay, so he's not. But one day I'll just bang get it in like I did.
He might be an expert in quarantine. That's not what he's here to talk about.
Okay, Tim, is your expertise involve the human body?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you're on fire, Jim.
Does it involve, when you say the human body, does it involve the brain?
Not specifically, no.
Oh, okay. So not specifically. He's held up a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the liver. Are you an expert? Are you an expert in alcoholism?
Just as an amateur.
Oh, okay.
But you're getting
He's a hobbyist.
You're getting closer though.
Yeah, I'm not an expert. I'm in alcoholism. I'm like a player.
Yeah, you're a professional.
I'm in the league.
Yeah.
But I couldn't write a book on it.
You could write a book on it. It just wouldn't be informative.
Yeah. And at the
It'd
end,
be all pictures.
the final chapter would be called "Who the fuck do you think you are?"
Hey, you're in near the right region of the body. You're getting closer.
The liver. Oh, the colon.
Well, ask some
Are
questions.
you a proctologist?
Well, don't ask him like that. Like, okay.
Are you a proctologist, Tim?
I'm not a proctologist, no, but you're getting close.
Oh, okay.
This is something that I think you'll be interested in because I don't think you practice good health of this part of your body.
Yeah, you're a proctologist.
Okay, it's something you do. Okay, think about something you do really fast.
Oh, okay. So it's not shitting.
You're faster than almost anyone I know at doing this.
I've read War and Peace.
Yeah, you're faster.
Oh, I'm a fast eater.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're an expert in eating in the digestive system.
I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
that.
close.
Pretty close.
Yeah, we're going to talk about gut health today with Tim Spector. Let me introduce Tim properly. Dr. Tim Spector is in the top 1% of scientists cited globally. He's an expert in gut health and a professor of genetic epidemiology at King's College London, director of the Twins UK study, and one of the world's leading researchers. He is the scientific co-founder of ZOE, a senior researcher of the PREDICT study, and the creator of the COVID Symptoms Study app. He's also a multi-award-winning expert in personalized medicine, food policy, and the gut microbiome, and the author of 4 books, including the best-selling The Diet Myth. His newest book is Spoon-Fed, While Almost Everything We've Been Told About Food Is Wrong.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So can you tell us just a little bit more? Because like I said, I know that you know a lot about a lot of things. We're talking specifically about gut health, but can you just talk about that a little bit and your relationship with that and like how you got here with that? Dr. Spector, Tim, I don't know what you want to be called, but
Geez, you're rambling.
Yeah, Tim's fine. Yeah. So I've been in twins for 25 years, and in London, and have this huge twin registry, about 15,000 twins, looking at what's nature and what's nurture, how similar they are, etc. And about 10 years ago, I had a health crisis myself. I was up a mountain and got double vision and basically had a mini stroke and started to think more about my health, thinking I was a healthy kind of middle-aged guy, and suddenly started popping pills. And I wanted to investigate more about the diet, my own advice I would give myself as a doctor, and realized that basically, everything online was bullshit. There was nothing really that was sensible that I thought was evidence-based. And then I got into the gut microbes and gut health, and that's really taken me on this journey for the last 10 years to really try and understand what is the best diet by understanding how we can feed our guts and our gut microbes. And that's really where we are today, and ended up working with this company ZOE that is, promoting personalized health through trying to work out what everyone individually should eat, rather than just it all being, one size fits all kind of nonsense really generated by the food companies. So most of the information we get about food is really pushed at us through the food companies, just to make us more crappy food and get us fatter and keep eating the same stuff. So it's really been a journey that way. That's where I am, and I'm lucky enough to be in a position that I can actually do the research and talk about it at the same time. So I'm on a sort of mission to try and convert people to understanding more about diet, realize that it's not just simple about carbs and fats and protein and keto and this kind of stuff. It's really complicated. It's not what the food companies want us to believe.
Well, we're going to get a lot of comments under this of these people who have their diets that they're very exact about. I like that you work for a company called ZOE, because ZOE does sound like the woman in the office who tells you off while you're eating the wrong food.
How do you think your gut health is?
My gut health would not be good. It would not be good. There's a lot of sausage roll based gut bacteria.
Yeah.
I haven't had a Yakult since 1999.
It is funny though. People use their diet like as their personality now. It's like, I'm vegan, I'm keto, I'm all of these things, and it's we don't care.
I got to tell you, Tim,
It's replaced religion. It's replaced religion. Diet is the new religion.
100%.
So people self-identify by what vegetables they eat or what they don't eat, and we all seem to have, as we've given up God, we've gone for some kind of wacky diet to self-identify, and I think this is definitely real.
I live with a vegan. This woman I live with.
Your wife?
My wife. And holy fuck, if I don't hear about veganism on the regular, like I'm not talking about daily, multiple times a day. The most expensive thing in my life is keeping my wife's vegan diet going, because she's always like, oh, we need to buy this, and it's much more expensive being vegan than it is being a meat eater. I'll tell you that much. And then she buys vegan. I don't have a problem with her being a vegan. It's just, stop buying cookies from different companies. If you're listening, Taze, my love. Stop buying cookies from different companies and making me eat them and going, it's just as good, right? They're not as good. I don't want them. You haven't found a company that's really worked out. Stop it.
I did like those gingerbread cookies, though.
She made them from scratch. Gingerbread's
vegan gingerbreads are good,
gingerbread can be vegan.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, Tim. We're going to ask Jim everything he thinks he knows about gut health. I'm going to prod him along with some questions, and I'm going to write down the answers, and we'll go back and revisit them with you. But after he says everything he thinks you know, you're going to grade him 0 through 10, 10 being the best on his accuracy. Kelly's going to grade him 0 through 10 on confidence. I'm going to grade him on et cetera. If your tallied score is 0 through 10, you're a leaky gut, Jim. 11 through 20, acid reflux. 21 through 30, probiotic.
Oh, I thought you were going to say lapse.
No, that's one. Okay, what is the gut?
The gut is your stomach. It's the lining of your stomach, and it holds bacteria that keeps you good or bad or whatever, and it holds acid and shit that eats up the food, then puts it into the colon, which turns it into poo.
So what does gut health refer to then?
Gut health is like where your bacteria are in your stomach, and whether they're good or bad, or it's like when you're trying to get the level right in a swimming pool, where it's good for swimming or bad for swimming. It's going to hurt your eyes, or it's going to just get algae on top of the thing, Yeah.
And why is it important?
Because when you're swimming, you want your eyes not to hurt.
Okay.
How's it important? Because it's basic. I think it has a lot to do with your happiness. And it has a lot to do with your health overall. Like if you have bad gut bacteria and you aren't processing things properly, you can probably get types of cancer or other illnesses that aren't good for you. All illnesses aren't good for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that out there.
You're anti-illness.
Yeah.
So you're saying don't get ill.
Don't get sick. Don't get sick. There's a shingles commercial where an old bloke goes, you never want to get shingles, like that, right? And I feel like going, or any illness.
Yeah.
So we're here to go, shingles are bad. Don't get them.
What is leaky gut? And don't just say it's a gut that leaks.
No. It's when your stomach leaks, you see.
Yeah.
And so what? No, it's when things aren't they're leaking down into your colon, and that gives you the runs.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe that's right.
Well, that leads us to our next question. What are the signs of an unhealthy digestive system?
Bad shits. Bad shits are unhealthy digestive system. Coughing up bile is a bad one. Indigestion, heartburn is another one.
Yep.
And
Do the Pepto theme song right now.
yeah, and
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion,
nausea,
upset stomach, diarrhea.
They're all the ones. Yeah, the Pepto Bismol one.
How many of these do you have
On the regular or right now?
ever in your life?
I've had all of them
Yeah.
at one stage or another. Yeah, but at the moment I'm doing all right. But I
Okay.
I have my poos are 30% good, 66.6.
What is probiotic?
Probiotics, the bacteria that you put into. My wife's obsessed with probiotics. You buy them from the store; they're very expensive. You have to keep them in the fridge. And then she says, if I go to the shop and I buy ones that aren't meant to be kept in the fridge, that they're no good. You bought stupid ones. Why did you buy those? I'm an asshole. So I got to go back and buy the refrigerated ones. Are the best ones. You eat them. It levels up your bacteria in your stomach. It also allegedly helps you lose weight and everything because everything's moving. It's like tuning up your car a bit by having a probiotic.
What about a prebiotic?
A prebiotic is something that you take before the pro. So it's like when you,
Tim's
before the prostitute comes in, you take the precautions, right? There's the precautions.
Yeah.
It's the condom of biotics.
There's the postbiotic.
A prebiotic is something that you should take on the regular just before you eat. If you're going to have a big heavy meal, take a prebiotic.
Okay. How do you know if you have a food allergy or intolerance? By the way, Jim did a whole special on this. I don't know if you know this, but Jim did a whole special called Intolerance. So,
oh yeah. How do you know if you have? Well, if you're one of the girls that I dated in Hollywood back when I was dating, you'll all have celiac disease, all of you, even though 1% of the population is meant to have it. It turns out every hot, thin chick has fucking celiac disease in LA. Every single one. Or it could be you don't want to eat bread. Just say you don't want to fucking eat bread. Don't make it a medical deal. Like I'm a fun girl. I'd eat a hamburger with you, but I have celiac disease, so I need this wrapped in lettuce. No, you just want to be thin, and that's admirable, but shut the fuck up. You're not special. Celiac. Okay, so what was the question?
All right, we're gonna move on. I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions.
No, you go for a test.
Yeah.
You go for a test. They go for a test. They test you on different things, and they take your blood probably. And then they go, because my ex is allergic to strawberries. They make her puff up. And then there's certain alcohols that she can't drink or wines or something like that. And I'm lactose intolerant, but I know I've probably got irritable bowel syndrome or something else because even when I don't eat lactose these days, I still seem to have the effects. Yeah. And but there's probably tests that I have not done.
Okay. There's questions in here I'm going to skip.
You do 23andMe.
There's some questions in here I'm going to skip, but we will ask them back there because I don't want to. How long should you chew?
See, this is a thing. I chew. I'm telling you, I
don't think you chew.
I eat like a duck, right? I like Homer Simpson did that thing where like that, right? I have to. You're meant to chew 20 times for a mouthful of food. And
really?
I log in like 6.
I don't even think you do 6.
Yeah, I think you just unhinge your jaw.
Yeah, I go chew, and then big bits. I don't even if I'm taking a tablet, I don't use water or anything. I have a stomach that just goes glump.
I've seen you eat like a giant sub sandwich in like 4 bites.
Yeah, the last time we were at your house, you're like, I ordered subs, and you were like done with one. I was like, it just got here.
We could buy one right now, and I could show you, but it's
we'll do that another episode.
I do have baklava right there.
Yeah, but it's I maybe 4 or 5 times I chew, but you meant to chew a lot more because that's part of your digestion is digesting it in the mouth and breaking it up. I will tell you this, in my poos, I have an ungodly amount of solid food. I do. Like, I'm not just like...
Tim looks uncomfortable during all that.
One of these people who like sweet corn. I have like leaves of lettuce.
Okay.
You think that would digest? Like proper it's like, oh, I ate a salad again. That's why I had a bad shit.
How about this? What is a microbe? I got about 4 or 5 more questions.
A microbe is a small outfit for a flea when they come out of a shower.
That's my favorite answer. You've heard a small outfit for a flea.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. How many microbes are in the human gut?
Billions.
Okay, that's probably right.
Yeah, billions.
And then how many microbes do you lose when you go to the toilet?
Millions. There's billions, and then you lose millions, and then you remake the millions, but there's still billions.
Okay. How long is the human gut?
Are we going to include the intestine and all that type of stuff?
Well, you tell me.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to, so because it's long, I thought the gut was just the stomach. So now we're going to have to say, because the whole gut would be the intestine and the colon and all that type of stuff. I'm going to say it's...
Go for meters if you want, if you're comfortable.
6 meters.
6 meters. Okay. Which is roughly 18 feet, probably a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay. You said the gut is located in the stomach?
It's in the tummy area.
Area.
It's not in your legs. I'll tell you that much, Forrest. It's in your bottom bit of your torso.
What is a poo transplant, and would you have a poo transplant if you were ill?
I've watched a lot of porn.
What is a poo transplant?
A poo transplant is that's when you get poo from others, or it's a transplant.
Yeah.
It's moved from Ohio to Florida.
It's
the finest poo in
I'm
Cleveland.
going to go when they put a colostomy bag on you. That's a poo transplant.
Okay.
That's not a bad answer.
They put a colostomy bag? Okay. And then would you have one if you were ill?
If I had a problem in that area, not if I had a cold. I think that's an overreach. Okay. I don't even think if I have COVID, they'll get him a colostomy bag. I foresee one in my future, 100%.
Okay. Let me just ask you the last question here. How similar are your gut microbes to your brothers? Or 2 more questions.
They're all called Scott and Danny? What do you mean?
How similar are your gut microbes to your brothers? Like, they're...
right.
Like, compare...
Oh,
yeah.
I get it. They all drive Subarus. How they would be very similar to that of a sibling. It would be
exact,
not exact, but minor, more humble.
So a nice abstract answer. Okay.
Yeah.
Can poor gut health make you fat? And we'll end there.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it can, because it makes your metabolism slow down, and when your metabolism slows down, then you get the fat.
All right, Tim, thank you.
I have the metabolism of a dinosaur.
Tim, thanks for sitting there.
Not a raptor either. I don't know the slow-moving ones.
On a scale of from 0 to 10, 10 being the best, how did you do on accuracy of gut health?
I think Jim and his wife have done very well, actually. Being married to a vegan has obviously helped him.
Yes.
Give him 7 out of 10.
Yeah, wow.
7 out of 10. Although he doesn't quite know where the gut is, he's done very well.
Okay.
It's in the torso, Tim.
Tummy.
It's in my core section.
How did he do on confidence, Kelly?
I feel like he was very confident. I'm giving him an 8.
8. All right. I give you 1.
All right.
And et cetera. Acid reflux. I don't feel like you're a probiotic yet.
Yeah. You cannot judge me on acid reflux. I have acid reflux, but you pop fucking those like Tic Tacs. The fucking, what are they called?
No, I don't eat those anymore. I just take
You like the chalky ones.
I'm not good. I've been looking forward to this episode just so I can think about what I need to do to get healthy and then not do it.
I used to get acid reflux right before, if I ate when I was nervous, right before I went on stage, and then like Forrest would be like, I got you, and he was pulling things out of his jacket like he was fucking the MacGyver of fucking acid reflux.
It's 1 pack. I didn't have 5. All right, Tim. I asked Jim, what is the gut and what does gut health refer to? He said stomach lining, bacteria, good, bad. Can you just talk a little bit about that? Like, we'll start there, please.
Yeah, you shouldn't be obsessed with the stomach. The stomach's actually quite boring and not much happens there. It all happens, the interesting stuff really happens lower down. The stomach is just really to protect you and allow you to vomit, bad stuff up. And the acid is there to kill any nasty germs you've ingested. But the gut really should reflect the other, as you rightly said, the other 6 meters, 20 foot of intestines that are there. And most of the microbes are much lower down. They're in this sort of 1 to 2 meter area of the lower colon. And that's where the action is. That's where all these guys are are busy making chemicals to help your body, and that's the really important bit. So when we think of the gut, we always tend to think of this. Actually, it's much lower down where the interesting stuff's happening.
And when you
just
say
before it goes
microbes,
into food.
when you say microbes, you're not referring to a robe for fleas, correct? Can you explain what a microbe is?
A microbe is a microorganism. So it's just something which means a little bug that you need a
I've given a girl a few of those.
So, yeah, basically you just need a good magnifying glass, and that's these little guys moving around that can reproduce. They have sex every 30 minutes and have other babies. They're really fast living guys, and they're basically chemical factories that produce thousands of chemicals that the body itself can't produce.
When you say they have babies, are they living individual things? Like, do they have?
He said microorganism.
Do they have feelings?
Oh yes, all the time. Yes,
So stop shitting on them all the
time. They reproduce. They eat. They shit. They have sex. They do all the stuff we do, just at a much faster pace. They live their life in 24 hours, and they can hibernate as well into spores and stay there for years and then come out again and start it all up again. So we talk about there's bacteria, but there's also fungi in there. And all of us actually have parasites in our guts that are much bigger. And normally you think of parasites as stuff you really don't want in your gut, right? These tapeworms and things people pull out of them. But we're finding now that the latest technology that these parasites are really, some of them can be good and actually make you thinner and make you healthier. So we're just unlearning this whole world inside us that has got all these different species of different bugs. 99% of them are good guys, and they're trying to help us. They're trying to live with us and convert the food we give them into good chemicals to keep everything, going in our bodies, our immune systems, keep us in a happy mood, stop us getting fat, prevent COVID and nasty bugs taking over, all kinds of stuff, our metabolism.
What's a good parasite?
The whole new world inside us is a bit like discovering, doing Star Trek on the outside, but going inside and really digging deep into your gut and working out all these amazing chemicals that are being produced. And these guys, can actually make you happy because they produce some of the happy chemicals, the neurochemicals like dopamine, serotonin, that the same things that antidepressants make, your bugs can make them if you feed them right.
So I'm going to blow everyone's mind, right? I'm going to blow everyone. Okay, so this whole world is living in our gut, in our colons and whatever, like that type of stuff. All these microorganisms and the parasites, the baddies and the goodies, and the lines are blurred. Mm-hmm. What if, right, we're all just living in the colon of a larger animal? And that's what we are.
I do think about stupid shit like that all the time. I'm not even going to make fun of me for that.
And that's why the space is dark, because we're in a poo trail.
Mm-hmm. I would say that you didn't blow my mind. No.
We're in the microbe. We're the microbe matrix, basically. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just everything has a different time scale. So these guys, live and die in 30 minutes, and have sex and have babies and pass it on. Yeah, who knows? We could be,
and they could have microbes
in someone else's
inside them, and there's another world. We're like a Russian doll of microbes.
The storming of the Capitol building was somebody's response to having cheese or something like that. It's like anytime there's conflict like that, it's just.
Oh no! Whatever body we're living in does not have a good diet.
That's for sure.
Yeah. I asked Jim, you touched on it. Gut health is important because you'll be healthier, happier. And then I asked him, what is a leaky gut? And I don't remember what he said, but I don't think it was right.
Yeah.
It was,
said when your stomach leaks, they're leaking down to your colon and you get the runs.
Yeah, it's how you get.
I think he meant stained underpants, but I don't think that's really what leaky is. It's a general term for when your gut lining is not working properly, so it's not separating the microbes from the blood supply, and so you start, in theory, getting a mixture between the two, which irritates the whole system. But it's it's been oversimplified, and probably this whole concept is a bit like the bullshit you get about toxins in foods and things like this. And our body has to get rid of toxins. So I think we've oversimplified the leaky gut a bit, because there's some passage between the microbes and the blood. But what we do know is that when you're sick, you get the gut wall, which is very long, as we've just discovered, it's meters long. You starts to weaken, and you get bits which can cause allergies. And we think this is possibly why there's much more food allergy around than there was 30 years ago, because our diets are poor and our gut microbes are a much worse state than they were. So one reason is that every night your gut microbes can actually clear up your gut lining, and they hoover up all the debris and keep it nice and clean. And they have little bugs that go and eat your gut lining. So they like flesh-eating little nibblers, and they come and clean up your gut every night, but only if you give them about 10 hours rest.
Yeah, I was going to ask,
because if you're eating all the time like the average, if you're eating all the time like the average American, they don't have a chance to clean up, and therefore that's why this snack culture is leading to this damaged gut health and slight leaky gut.
Yeah,
so
we're not giving our guys a chance to heal.
So I don't diet as such, but I do fast 2 days a week. I know you wouldn't know it to look at me, but I also take weed 4 days a week. So that's where the problem happens. But so fasting is good, because I fast a couple of days and I do feel better the next day. And so I give myself 24 hours without food twice a week.
Well, that may be the reason you're still alive.
All right.
Because you eat all the shitty food, but then you have a day and a different. It's like an American football analogy of the defense team comes out when you're fasting, and they're totally equipped to tidy up and clean up all the mess that you've left from junk food, and they will tidy it up and make you better. So this is the new theory of why intermittent and fasting works. If you fast for too long, it's not good. But a short while, whether it's just skipping a meal and only having 2 meals a day, or it's overnight for 14 hours, or as you do, maybe for 24 hours, allows the body to heal off, and the microbes are generally much healthier. So unwittingly, you've been helping your microbes in some way.
And you shouldn't eat right before you go to bed. I've always heard that, but that's the reason you shouldn't eat closer to when you're going to sleep, because this will disrupt that process, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they generally need 12 hours, and probably 14 hours overnight would be the ideal. That's why occasionally skipping breakfast is a good idea, because we were never designed to eat 3 to 6 meals a day. In Africa, our ancestors they didn't eat breakfast. They just had 2 meals a day and lots of space in between.
So
I think that's really where
I've never liked breakfast. I've never enjoyed getting up right away and eating. I can eat maybe after an hour and a half, but right away I always find it a very heavy thing to do. And I was always taught throughout being a child, especially when I was at school, my mother shoved a breakfast down my throat, because breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and that's bullshit, right? It's bullshit. We don't need breakfast.
That's bullshit, yes. But there's huge amounts of our parents' indoctrination, whether, my mother's Australian, told me exactly the same thing, and she was brought up on steak and eggs for breakfast,
Well, I tell you, it's the fucking egg people, the egg people, how they got a dominance on breakfast, how big egg and bacon got together and they just went, and everyone will have this for every meal. Like, I enjoy eggs and bacon, right? I love an Egg McMuffin, favorite thing at McDonald's, right? Apart from the probiotic meal that comes with a toy. But how they got the dominance, and we all just decided that that's what we're meant to eat in the morning. And then if you eat like a muffin, like a blueberry muffin or something like that, or a oatmeal muffin, that's a breakfast thing. You eat a cupcake, you're a fucking psycho. you're a psycho. You eat like a frittata with cheese and stuff, or an omelette with cheese and all these toppings on it. Oh, that's a lovely breakfast. You eat a pizza. Get your life together.
That's so true.
You know what I mean? It's a load of rubbish how they've planned these things out.
Well, I think Mr. Kellogg has a lot to do with that, because I think 100 odd years ago, a lot of people didn't have breakfast, and then suddenly this whole marketing campaign by the food companies, gave them this whole extra meal they could make money out of, and most people aren't starving as they wake up, and so most people, think, oh, I can't sleep anymore, I'm starving. It just never happens, right?
Yeah, and also the marketing of breaking the fast. Like you've been fasting. Yeah. You've been laying there just, I'm starving.
Like you haven't had a meal in 6 hours. Just relax.
Yeah, you always, every time you wake up, this is your first thought. Oh, I wish I could sleep a bit longer, right? It's never like, and food.
I like food.
Exactly, but the food companies have indoctrinated us into this idea that you're a bad parent if you don't feed your kids, masses of sugar in the morning when they don't need. Now, some people love breakfast and are hungry, and others aren't. But we should just let our bodies tell us what to eat, not food companies. And I think that's something that we've discovered recently, and the science is now backing it up, so that all these old theories that it was really bad for you are totally disproven now, but they just haven't been the studies until recently. And it's still an emotive topic. When I go on TV and say that you don't need breakfast, I get hate mail.
Yeah.
People are very obsessed with some of these habits, strangely attached to the importance of some of these rituals. And again, it comes back to replacing religion.
I'm a one or
breakfast religion.
I'm a 1 or 2 meals a day, and I don't snack. Right? You never see me snacking. Right? 1 or 2 meals a day, but my meals are massive. That's my problem. I can't go in and get the half sub. I get the 4 subs.
I get the 4 subs.
The 4 sub combo.
Yeah.
It's the number 2.
Yeah. $20. 4 foot long. 20.
I asked Jim, what is a probiotic and a prebiotic? The probiotics, he said, they're very expensive. You have to keep them in the fridge, or you're an idiot. You bought the wrong ones. And then you eat them up. You eat them, and levels of bacteria in your stomach. Allegedly helps you lose weight. Prebiotic you take before the condom of biotics.
Yeah. Also, the probiotics. I believe when you get a colonoscopy.
Hold on. Let's let.
No, I'm about to say, when you get a colonoscopy, they say that you lose a lot of your probiotics, so you have to eat a lot after that. And so my wife made me do that.
Yeah.
That was, but where it came from.
Okay, sorry. Probiotics and prebiotics. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So you didn't quite get that right, Jim. The probiotics are live microbes in something that you eat that generally is going to improve your health. Mm-hmm. So a probiotic could be as a tablet or as a liquid, where they just got lots of microbe species that will go into your gut and hopefully do good. Or they can be in a yogurt, or they can be in cheese, or they can be in all these other kind of things like the 4Ks, kombucha, kefir, kimchi, kraut.
Oh, I love kimchi.
Fermented food. And kimchi is why Koreans are not fat. They're one of the few rich countries.
Have you looked at the North Korean leader?
Except for Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un's not eating the fucking kimchi.
Yeah, well, he's eating all the food for the rest of the country.
Yeah, exactly.
But so that is probiotics. So you can either get in capsules, or you get them. I prefer that people eat them in real food. And the idea is to have a small amount every day. When having a probiotic feast once a month, because these guys will die out. So just a little shot of something every day. And at the moment, the probiotic companies publicizing everything, but we don't really know which one is the right one, because everybody's very unique in their gut microbes. Everybody's got completely different ones. So you can't tell what someone's going to need. So the best thing is to do is to get a variety of them, as many different types of stuff that you can get. So when next time you have your sub, add some kimchi to it, or have a shot of real yogurt, but without all the chemical shit in it.
Right.
I
don't know if Jersey Mike's has the Jersey Mike's had the kimchi.
Yeah, you say Mike's way with the kimchi. They put the little oil and vinegar, and then they open the fridge. A wafting smell comes towards you.
No, I like it. Your cult was your cult one? That was the first one I heard about. That was like in the 90s when the first time I was ever aware of these things for your stomach.
Well, you mentioned. I don't know if I ever said kefir. I drink that, but you have to do just a shot of it by itself.
Yeah, you have it. It's Americans call it kefir.
Yeah,
like Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, that's what I called it. That's what my mom would call it.
A brand of weed chocolate?
No.
Keef is like
fermented. It's fermented milk.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
So it's like super yogurt, and basically you have about.
Oh, in Australia we call it Kahlua.
No,
that's fermented milk.
The alcohol?
Yeah. Bailey's fermented milk. Is that fermented milk?
No, this is like. I'm surprised you don't have it.
No.
That tastes. Yeah, it's like it's. I don't know why it comes in a jar. Believe it or not. Yeah, I put it in a drink though. We'll mix it with other stuff. You're saying just do a shot of it is better by itself?
Well, if you have it, I mean, some people add it to yogurt to make it, because it's quite sour. It's a bit of an acquired taste. It's about 10 times more potent than yogurt because it's got more bugs in it. And that's the idea, is to get as many different microbes inside you as possible, because you don't know which ones are going to suit you. So, don't gamble. Just take as many different ones as you can. And after a while, you get to like. It's pretty horrible when you first have it, but you get to like it.
You just explained my dating life.
It's the anal sex of food. So what is the biggest risks of not having enough probiotics or prebiotics in your system? What are the big risks?
Well, all of these things help your gut health, and they help build up a diversity in your gut microbes. So it comes back to what is a healthy gut microbiome. And basically, we think it's the more different species you've got, the better. So it's like if you have the same sub every single day.
I do.
Even if it's packed with, even if it's got good stuff in it, you've got your Vegemite and you've got your other, all your favorites. It's going to be boring. You're going to have a much less diverse microbiome because the same microbes will get bored of it, and you need to start adding other things to it. So the idea is to add 30 different types of plant to your diet every week to give you plus probiotics to really get as many species inside you as possible, which gives you the biggest chemical factories you can get. So that's the idea, is that the more you've got, the more diverse chemicals you can produce, which gives you natural defenses against things and a much more healthy balance.
So don't get a Big Mac every day. Get nuggets occasionally.
Yeah,
right.
Yes, diversity
with some parsley.
But processed food is very negative for your gut.
My wife tells me about processed food all the time. If I eat white bread, I'm fucking. I have to do it in the toilet now.
Like in the closet.
Oh God, I got to go eat white, anything white. She's against, including me. All white food she hates.
Just dip it in your kimchi.
Yeah, we have a jar. We have a jar on the continent. Sauerkraut has it as well. Is that true?
He said sauerkraut. He said kraut.
Sauerkraut has it as well. We have sauerkraut and we have kimchi, and we get that into us all the time. So that's.
I love sauerkraut. I grew up.
My wife's going to make me live 10, 15 years longer.
Yeah.
Damn.
Which still means she'll be alone for 40 years.
Food allergies and intolerance. I just kind of want to go back over this because I know Jim wants to talk about it. He said every thin hot chick has celiac disease in LA. That there is very few people that have the actual celiac disease versus gluten intolerance, right? Or is that like how can we talk about that a little? Or
no, Jim's right. I mean, I think there's about 12% of the American population think celiac, and only about 1% really do, and only about 0.5% actually know they have. So we overestimate by about tenfold these allergies. And it's nonsense. But people who avoid gluten, they don't need to, and it often risks their diet, and they end up with a unhealthier gut because they're eating really weird stuff that's not full of fiber, and it's got extra sugars and other chemicals in it. So often they end up less healthy, although they may be skinnier. And I think that's a big deal now, and because there's a few of them that do have genuine intolerance. So I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but in studies, at least 80% of people who think they have it really have nothing wrong, and you can just give them pretend, gluten and say it's something else, and they're absolutely fine. So
I do. When people come over to my house and they have dietary needs, I just tell them, no. This is a gluten-free meal. That's not meat. We're a vegan house. Blah 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 blah. Why is your child blown up? There was no nuts in that.
They sign a waiver before they walk in. But
how long should you chew? Jim said 20 times per mouthful. Oh, how's that working out?
Well, no one really knows. There was a guy called Horace Fletcher, I think he was, in Victorian times, who claimed that if you chewed all your food 200 times, you're guaranteed to lose weight. And that's probably because you got so bored and your food tasted like shit.
Well, that's all the exercise.
By the time
you do anything 200 times, you will lose weight.
Burning calories while you're eating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's 200 times.
Yeah. If you exercise 200 times, you're guaranteed to lose weight.
This guy was a genius.
Yeah. Just wave your arm like this 200 times.
I can't. That would be so gross by 200 chews.
Yeah, it hasn't really caught on these days, so people don't do that. But there is a link between how fast you eat and how much weight you put on. So you do need if you eat more slowly, which means you chew it and think about it more, it gives your gut microbes time to signal to your brain that you're full. Whereas if you eat your sub in like 2 minutes, you still will eat another one because you haven't had time for your micro to get the signal to say, I'm full.
How shitty a human design is that? I've heard this my whole life. It takes 20 minutes for your stomach to feel full. Just don't keep eating, Jim, because you might be full. Like that. Like, what a stupid system.
It should be instant. It should be instantaneous.
It should be instant. Like everything else, you stub your toe, you find out right away. You don't stub your toe and then 20 minutes later go, oh, Christ almighty. You don't do that. You fucking ejaculate. You don't go on the drive home. Oh, you know what I mean? Right? Like, why is it the one thing that makes me bloody fat? I've tried. I've been hypnotized to try and eat slower. I have.
Really?
Yeah. I can't not eat slower. If I have food, I did this other thing. There was this system where you meant to eat with your knife and fork, and then you take a mouthful. You have to put your knife and fork down each time, so that actually slows things down. And that didn't work because I've never used a knife and fork.
Tim, I eat fast, okay, but I have never seen anyone that eats as fast as Jim. When we're on the road together, if we're gonna eat somewhere, I get in line in front of him now to order my food first, because when I first started traveling with him, he would order first. And by the time I would have my food and turn around to sit at the table, Jim would last bite. Be done.
Yeah, it's like, you know what I started doing? Like I mentioned this in my special. I started taking dates to tasting menus, even though it's more expensive, because the portions were very small. And the meal would be at the same speed as the person I was on the date with. Like I could finish my thing in a mouthful, and then they'd finish it a minute later, but it wouldn't be a big fucking deal. Because if you give me a bowl of pasta and they've got their fucking chicken celiac disease fucking dish, right? They've got their tuna thing, and then I would be done so quickly. Now my brothers eat at the same speed as me. Scott and Danny are fucking animals. Now I didn't realize this until there was many years ago at the Edinburgh Festival, there was like a show that was late at night where comedians were meant to be doing impersonations of each other. And I thought this was I just ate fast. It wasn't a thing I was known for, right? And a comedian got up on stage and then they flashcarded a person they had to impersonate, Jim Jefferies, right? And then the person, instead of doing a stand-up routine like me or doing a drunken sort of character or something like that, they just got acted like they were eating a bowl of food really quickly, and everybody, all the other comedians laughed like it was a known thing that they've been speaking about for a very long time.
Well, at least that's what people are saying about you behind your back. It could be worse.
Yeah, well, it was a bowl of dicks.
Have you tried eating with greasy chopsticks?
Well,
There's some studies
this
show
is the thing. I've heard
you
that
taste the
Asian people.
chopsticks, you eat slower.
Asian people are thinner
You lose
because they
weight.
eat with chopsticks, and so smaller mouthfuls. So I did actually in COVID buy myself a set of chopsticks for this very reason. But it turns out I can pick up a steak with them.
Whole steak. I remember, you know what, that just reminded me. I think it was Evander Holyfield. He said when he was training, so he wouldn't gain weight, but he still wanted to eat steak, he would get steak and chew it and to get all the flavor and then spit it out.
No, but that's meant to be. Oh, I wish Jack was here. We have a light bulb go out once an episode, and Jack goes, "Oh, it's about once every 6 episodes or something like that." There's something. This place is going to burn down. The electricity. Okay, so
Is the lighting okay still, Luis?
But
Okay.
you're not meant to chew and spit out, because I've done that before, thinking I'll lose weight, I'll chew and spit, because your stomach. It's why chewing gum's bad for you. Your stomach thinks it's about to receive something, and it goes a bit mental. Is that correct, or am I talking bollocks?
Bollocks.
Oh, okay, all right. Good. Well, I'll start chewing over the bin and spitting again.
Good. Yeah, Aussie food culture. That's right.
All right, I want to talk about something that you'll know about this. Okay, the food pyramid. If there's ever been a bigger scam in our society than the food pyramid, we were taught this at school, and it was like all the things you were meant to eat. The bottom story, the bottom level of it was bread.
It's like
It was breads and grains, that sort of stuff. That's what the majority, and then it was like fruits and vegetables. Well, after bread was more important than fruits and vegetables, then meat, then dairy, and then at the top was fat. And that was how we were meant to eat. Could you have a worse diet than following that thing that the government sent us?
No, that's why we've all got fatter over the last 30 years because of this rather daft advice. Yeah, particularly on fat, because they made us eat all these starchy foods and said starchy foods are good, fatty foods are bad. And so the food companies just changed everything to be low fat this and low fat that, get highly processed rather than natural, make more money on it. And they introduced the concept of a healthy snack, which was a low fat snack.
Oh.
And so all that together has caused this massive epidemic of obesity because, a combination of eating more snacks and having this highly processed food culture drummed into us. And a lot of the healthy stuff like cheese and oils and things like butter, nothing really wrong with them. And many people do better on eating fatty diets than high sugar carb diets. And it comes back to this whole idea that there isn't one size fits all. And that's one of the studies we've been doing recently about, with this company ZOE. We gave thousands of people identical meals, and it turns out that everybody responded differently to that identical muffin and a milkshake. Everybody. So even identical twins, when you gave them identical foods, their metabolic response was different. So it tells us that it's complete nonsense that we follow one particular, US or Australian diet, and that's what we should all have. Exactly those calories, exactly that fat. Everybody's different, and so it's complete nonsense. And that's why some people will do well on one diet, others won't. There's no point copying your mate just because they lost weight on or did well. You've got to find out what's good for you. And
how do you find that out? That's the big question. How do I find out? I'll start with milkshakes. like how do I find out which food's good? Because I know there's certain foods that if I eat that I seem to puff up on. It's like for whatever reason, and I love sushi. If I have sushi the next day, I'm like 4 pounds heavier, and then it all drops off. And I hear that's like salt retention or some bullshit like that, right? But how do I find out what's the good food for me and what's the bad food for me as a person?
Well, the easiest is to go to one of these companies and do a test like thousands of other people and compare how you respond to all these other thousands of people eating the identical foods to get an idea about whether you are going to respond to fats or sugars or carbs in a different way, and that really depends on your unique metabolism. And you can now do this. So the company I'm with, ZOE, have got this product in the US that you can buy this kit, and you get the muffins, you get the sugar, you get a glucose monitor. Have you seen these continuous glucose monitors people wear?
Correct. Yeah.
So basically, you see your sugar level in real time for 2 weeks. So every time you eat your sub, you'll see 30 minutes later whether you get a big peak or not. And so you can start tweaking that and trying to understand whether it's the fat in it that's causing you a problem, or it's the carbs in the bread. And I did this and found, that things really surprised me. Even as a doctor, I had no idea that I would react so much to orange juice or porridge, oat porridge, and bread, whereas my wife reacted totally differently. She had none of those things. So we end up with completely different diets, but only by doing these tests yourself do you understand what's going on. It's very hard for most people to instinctively feel what's good or bad for them. Some people can. Some people get sugar dips and things. But this is the whole new area of personalized nutrition. So anyone who's really interested in this, that's what they need to do, is to sign up for one of these things. You get all this devices you can put on yourself, really work out what's going on in your fat levels, your sugar levels, and also measure gut microbes. We're talking about it, making a bit of fun, but you can actually sequence everybody's microbes now to a great level of detail and work out how many of the good ones you've got and the bad ones, and select which foods you ought to be eating more of or less of to get healthier ones. So
I'm going to get me one of those tests.
Fiction, but it is reality.
You're going to do it.
I think this is where the future's going.
You're going to do one, Jim?
I'm going to do one. I hope that the answer comes back more hamburgers.
Yeah, you'd be the first one. I think that comes back for it. All right, we talked about microbes.
Hamburger diet.
We talked about microbes, what they are, and you did mention that he said his would be similar to his brother's, but you said everyone's very unique. I don't know if that includes brothers.
Well, it's going to be not similar because he said that twins weren't even the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm just going through okay, here we go. I was just making sure we get through all the questions. What is a poo transplant? Would you have a poo transplant if you're ill? You said when you get poo from others, colostomy bag.
Yeah.
What can you talk about poo transplants? And I don't know if that's right.
I love talking about poo transplants. Yeah. So actually, there are tens of thousands of Americans every year who get poo transplants legally, and it's the number one treatment for a really nasty gut condition called C. difficile, and people die. But if you get healthy microbes, healthy poo sample from somebody, and you put it into someone who's got these gut problems, you cure them with 90% of cases, and no other treatment comes close.
All right, how do you put it in them?
I think you know, Jim. And the hatch.
There's three ways.
Eat this chocolate pudding.
You can get it up your bum through an enema or a coloscopy. You can get it fed down through a nasal tube. So a tube goes down your nose into your stomach, and you drip the liquid in there. Or or the other way, the more sophisticated is a form of chocolate truffles. It's basically frozen poo in digestive capsules, acid resistant capsules, which we generally call crapsules. And you swallow 30 of these crapsules, and
then you go to Mexico.
You go from Mexico.
You go from Mexico, and then you receive a bag.
But the choice is yours, Jim. So you can have any of those. And people are now doing experiments to see, can this make you? Can you, if you take from a slim person, can it make you slimmer? They're taking it from people without cancer, for people who are having cancer treatments, and with colitis and inflammatory diseases, and seeing if they can cure them. And there's a range of successes Some of them are good, some of them are not working yet, but it's a real fascinating area. So because if it does work, it's a really, yes, you can be cured. And some people with colitis are actually cured of this.
But if it doesn't work, you just ate shit.
I have lived in America for a long time now, and one of the things about America when you first move here, which is very shocking to you, is that they advertise medications. The rest of the world doesn't advertise medications, and they always start with, ask your doctor if you should take Cialis or whatever like that, and side effects may be depression, this, death. Right. And it's very weird because I don't believe you should be asking your doctor anything. They should be telling you, you shouldn't go, oh, maybe I need this drug. I am yet to see the poo transplant.
Yeah.
Ask your doctor for a poo transplant.
Where do you find a poo donor? Is there a registry for that, or do you just ask a friend?
Yeah. Side effects, maybe not being able to look your friend in the eye anymore.
and is it called poo transplant? Is that the technical term?
No, it's fecal microbial transplant, FMT, is what it's called. And there's a place in Boston that supplies.
I'm sorry.
There's a place in Boston that supplies 90% of all American poo. So there's about.
It's called wicked good poo.
Down in Southie.
Hey, I'm coming to a poo transplant.
Yeah, that's New York.
Oh, okay. Well, he traveled.
40 students in Boston who get paid to poo regularly.
Wow.
And
the Boston poo party.
And their shit gets distributed all across the US to save lives. Isn't that good?
Students? I don't want students' poo. What, it's full of ramen noodles and fucking...
No, I'm sure it has to be good. Yeah. It has, they had tested, I'm sure, right? They have to have some quality poo.
They're tested all the time. They're not allowed to eat curry. They're not allowed to go to Thailand. All kinds of restrictions on what they can do, and they're not allowed to be psychotic.
I don't want my poo to have a Boston accent.
Is curry bad for you? Is curry a bad thing for you?
It messes up your microbes a bit, yes. So, and it also makes it a bit runny, so they don't like it in the lab. So that's the reason Then if you're a professional poo donor, you're not allowed to have regular curries.
So I asked this question because I get the squirts often. That's bad, right? That's bad. That's not just like, that's not good, right?
So it's better than constipation.
Oh no, I don't know that. I'm shitting on the regular. I shit even when I don't want to, even when I'm not in a toilet. Whoa, healthy Jim.
Yeah, I'm very regular. I eat a meal, and within an hour of eating a meal or less, I have to poop.
Yeah, but it takes 30 hours for it to turn to poo.
But it's pushing the other poop out.
That's the meal from the other day.
Yeah, but that's healthy, I think. I don't know. I think
it's just because you eat your meals at the same time.
There's a huge variation between how long it takes. And you can do the sweet corn test, or with the company ZOE, we've got a bright blue muffin you can eat. And you can tell when it hits the toilet because it goes... makes a big splash, as they say.
There's the Guinness test. That works as well. Guinness will show you.
It's 4 hours. It can be some people it's 4 hours, and some it's 4 days. There's a huge range between.
Wow.
So it's very hard to know what is normal. Everybody's very different because the length of your colon is also very different, as well as the speed at which it goes through. So it's generally better to have. The faster everything's happening, generally, the more activity in your microbes, the better you are.
Oh, good.
So maybe, Jim, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. I'm feeling healthier by the second.
Stay near a toilet.
Okay, and
just got to stay near a toilet.
And a prolapsed arsehole, that's a good thing, right? That's something positive. Anyway, carry on.
This part of the show where I want to ask you about a dinner party fact. This is just a fact that you can give to our audience, like obscure, interesting, that they can use to impress people about the subject, something that might not be very commonly known. If you have something in that realm.
Well, my books, Spoon-Fed and Diet Myth, are full of these. So if you are lacking in anecdotes after dinner, I'd definitely recommend reading those. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably say red wine would be a good one for me. I like red wine, and I can now say that because of its chemicals it's got in it called polyphenols, which are rocket fuel for your gut microbes. It's a really good thing to eat and drink a glass a day for your gut microbes, so it keeps them healthy. Right. And the same is not true for white wine because of the grape skin. So there's a lot of foods that we're told are unhealthy are actually very healthy for us. And red wine is the top of the list, along with things like dark chocolate and cheese and coffee. So and that's because of the chemicals in the skin of the plant.
Now, can I fill that
these are
glass up all the way to the top and have it still count as just one glass?
Yeah. And if
I can't have
if
one
you're
glass.
like Kelly and you just drink it from the lip of the bottle,
How'd you know I did that the other night? It was on my Instagram story.
Once again, the book is Spoon-Fed: Why Almost Everything We've Been Told About Food Is Wrong. It's Dr. Tim Spector. Before you go, if you could just maybe, in some sort of succinct terms, just tell like our audience just the benefits of gut health overall. I know we've touched on a lot of it, but just kind of like a parting thought about it, I guess, just because I think this is good for everybody.
Well, gut health is proving it essential for everything. And I think if you understand a bit about your microbes, it changes the way you think about food. And every time you put something in your mouth, you realize that, with 100 trillion microbes, you're never going to eat alone again. And I think that's a really important thought. So you can still enjoy all your food and just pick the right ones that you and your microbes will like. And as well as reading the books, if anyone's interested in personalized nutrition, go to the website joinzoe.com and you can do your own tests and work out what your poo really looks like in real life, as well as how you're going to respond to those muffins and whether giant subs are good for you.
all right.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you, Tim. I'm going to do a lot of these things. I might report back on a later episode.
Yeah.
We could do that. If you actually do these things, we could have another.
You'll come back on it. This is a very special episode of it. I don't know about that. Jim's dead. He ate a
We
salad.
can do one.
Turns out it
We could do
didn't.
one just about your gut microbes.
Yeah.
We could do the test, and we could do one just on your gut alone.
Yeah.
Fill a whole
I'll do it.
whole hour.
I'll do
Okay,
it.
we can
I'll
set
do it.
that
I'll
up.
do a test.
All right. Well, thanks for being here. Dr. Tim Spector again. The book is Spoon-Fed: Why Almost Everything We've Been Told About Food Is Wrong.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you so much.
If you're ever at a party and it'd be like, hey, why are you eating that alone in a corner? I'll go, don't know about that. Good night, Australia.